Welcome to Huts of New Zealand. In this series I will travel to backcountry huts all around New Zealand to record, review and rate my experiences to give you a better idea of what to expect when you go hiking around our beautiful country. Today I'm going to Lane Cove Hut, a serviced 16 bunk hut tucked away in Whangaroa harbour in Northland, New Zealand. To get there, turn off State Highway 10 onto Totara North Road. After 5 minutes, turn left onto Campbell Road, and then right onto Whangaroa Road. Parts of the road are narrow and gravel, and they can get pretty busy, so be careful and cautious of other drivers. The car park is pretty small and on a steep incline, so make sure there's room for others to get past, and don't block any driveways or gates. Before you set off on the Whangaroa stream track, make sure you lock your vehicle and take all your valuables with you. The trek to Lane Cove Hut is 5 kilometres long, with 200 metres of climb, and it takes about 2 hours for the average person to walk. The track starts off with a gradual climb up a wide gravel driveway, which is also a paper road. After 5 minutes you'll reach a cleaning station, so make sure you brush, inspect and disinfect your shoes to prevent the spread of Kiwi dieback disease. The gravel and clay track is easy going as it continues up the hill, entering the conservation land at Ranfurly Bay Scenic Reserve. After half an hour, the track reaches a saddle where a few different tracks branch off, so turn right to follow the Whangaroa stream track. Marked by orange trail markers, this track is much more narrow as it begins descending down the hill. There's a few rocks and tree roots to look out for, and the clay surface can get pretty slippery after a bit of rain, so I'd recommend wearing grippy shoes. The dense and vibrant coastal broadleaf forest is a joy to walk through, and it's home to many species of native birds and a fair few cicadas during the summer. You'll pass by a few dog traps throughout the track, which help to reduce predator numbers and protect the native birds. At the bottom of the hill, the track crosses over the Whangaroa stream, so prepare to get wet shoes. The stream is prone to flooding after heavy rain, so if the water is too deep, swift or muddy, do not attempt to cross. After a very boggy grassy section, the track crosses back over the stream at a nice pool, which makes for a great place to go for a swim on a hot day. It then emerges onto the flat meadows at the bottom of the valley, with the Kayaking rock formation, also known as Duke's Nose, right up ahead. Going down the valley, the track re-enters the forest and climbs around the side of a small hill, overlooking the tidal estuary lined with mangroves. More of the harbour is revealed as the track sidles the headland, and you'll start to get some views of the stunning turquoise waters of the Whangaroa harbour, often dotted with boats. One short descent later, the track turns left at another cleaning station, and after passing the toilets and down some steps, you'll finally arrive at Lane Cove Hut. Lane Cove was named after the Lane family, who were early pioneers of the Whangaroa area. In 1872, Thomas Lane and his brother-in-law established a sawmill in nearby Totara North, and by 1901 they had the largest shipyard in the country. In 1922, Lane's eldest son, Soloway, decided to build a bach for the family to enjoy, and over the years, 4 generations of Lanes spent many long summers holidaying here, fishing, swimming and exploring. In 1971, the family decided to sell the bach and surrounding 65 hectares to the Department of Lands and Survey, expressing their wish that it stayed as it was for everyone's pleasure. Doc has since converted it into a serviced hut, and 2022 marks its 100th birthday. Lane Cove Hut has 16 bunks split between 2 main bunk rooms and a large kitchen and dining area with a table and chairs, a bench top with a sink, shelves with some pots and pans, a fire extinguisher, drying racks, candle holders and plenty of wide opening windows. Out the front there's a big beautiful deck overlooking the water with a picnic table and seating, and around the hut there's a couple more picnic tables, a drying line, an outdoor bench with a sink, 2 long drop toilets, don't forget your toilet paper, and a very large roof-filled water tank. Just make sure you boil the water before use. I arrived on a stunning summer afternoon, so after having a good look around and getting settled at the hut, I put my togs on and relaxed out on the water in the warmth of the sun. Then, after making some dinner, I spent the evening out on the deck enjoying the company of the other hut-goers, playing cards and sharing stories. And as the long day drew to a close and darkness finally set in, I quietly got into my sleeping bag and bedded down for the night. Make sure you have good hut etiquette and bring some earplugs just in case you need to block out any snoring. It was an absolutely stunning morning, and after a bit of a sleep in, we were all back out on the deck soaking up the sunlight and enjoying the tranquility of Lane Cove. I had to get going soon after, so I packed up my gear, signed into the hut logbook and swept the floors before setting off back up the track and out to the car park. It pays to be aware of what the tide is doing, because as I found out, high tide can flood some parts of the track. Thankfully, there is patchy cell phone reception at the hut, so you should be able to search for tidal forecasts and contact people if you need to. Ranfurly Bay Scenic Reserve is extremely popular, and while the hut is a great place to spend a night, the main attraction for most people is the summit of Duke's Nose. By continuing along the main track past the hut, you'll begin a sharp climb through the regenerating native bush and up the towering volcanic rock outcrops. You'll need a decent level of fitness and confidence to reach the top, because the final climb involves a steep rocky cliff with a metal handrail to help out. From the hut, the track up to Duke's Nose is 1 kilometre long with 140 metres of climb and takes about half an hour. Some people may find it tough, but the panoramic views from the top are absolutely spectacular, making it well worth the climb. Overlooking the hut and much of Whangaroa Harbour's turquoise waters, this is definitely one of the best spots in Northland to visit on a nice summer day. Back down at the cove, there is also a small day shelter and access to the beach for day walkers. This is also where boaties and kayakers can reach the hut from the harbour, and there's even a water taxi service if you'd prefer to go by boat. Check out the Whangaroa Harbour Adventures website for more info on the water taxi options and prices. The calm waters make for a great place to go swimming and kayaking, but be careful around the mangrove-lined beaches, as there are lots of sharp rocks and seashells hidden in the mud, and I did accidentally cut my foot on one. Lane Cove Hut is New Zealand's northernmost mainland hut, and it's also one of the only huts to be situated right on the ocean. In summer, it's like a tropical paradise with great views, beautiful waters, and lots of flora and fauna. There are kiwi present in the reserve, as well as other sensitive native species, so camping, fires, and dogs are not permitted. Overall, I had a fantastic time at Lane Cove Hut, and I honestly believe it's one of the best huts I've stayed at so far. Apart from the usual stinky long drop, I couldn't think of anything negative to say about the hut. It's well constructed out of solid kauri timber, with a great interior layout and an impressive deck that receives a generous amount of sunlight. I would give Lane Cove Hut 5 stars. Easy to get to with an incredible setting, this is absolutely one of the best summer huts in New Zealand, and I think we're extremely lucky that it's open to the public. Bookings are required all year round, and I recommend booking early to ensure that you get a spot. You'll get the code to unlock the door with your booking confirmation email, so bring this with you as there will occasionally be a hut warden present. Check out the dock website in the description below for more information, including prices and availability. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of the huts of New Zealand.
If you listen really closely, you can hear cicadas.